Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I have a commentary for you about the importance of hard work. We often talk about how important it is to work smart. We really push college degrees, we push programming, intelligence, we push easy work, make your work do itself, that kind of thing. And you don't want to get your hands dirty. You don't want to be a janitor. You don't want to have to grind and labor out in the sun. You don't want to have to break your back. All that kind of stuff is for peasants. Those type of attitudes aren't really true at all. Working hard is just as important as working smart. Matter of fact, I feel that working hard is more important than working smart because some problems simply cannot be outsmarted. Some problems you just have to take on head first, man up, hunker down, and put in the hard work. Just hold on to your butt and you'll get through it. And not everyone is gifted with the intelligence or smarts or training to so-called work smart and not have to labor super hard. I'd use TV shows as an example. There's always like some crazy hacker person that writes a program that makes it do it themselves, or some scientist that finds a shortcut way, or a brilliant businessman that just trades and trades and trades and doesn't really do anything. That's not the case for the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people aren't born naturally gifted or geniuses or whatever. However, every single person can choose to put in the hard work and it will pay off. And by the way, it really is a hard, not a hard choice. It actually is a very difficult choice, but it really is a choice. Some people believe that you can be born hardworking, that you can be born to love labor and to love the sweat and that kind of stuff. I don't think that's really true. I don't think hardly anybody really wants to work hard versus maybe Netflix and chill, but you can choose to work hard instead of quitting, and you can be proud of your labor. There are a lot of people that are very proud of their labor, very proud of their effort, and proud of what it accomplished. I'm going to use two different examples, one from a friend of mine and one from college to kind of explain this. The friend of mine I'm going to talk about is Accepted TMAC92. Most of you are probably familiar with him on this channel. He is now the manager of a gym, and that might not sound like much, but this is not a small gym. We're not talking like mom and pop's boxing arena. We are talking a massive, gigantic corporate gym in a super rich neighborhood, like a multi-million-dollar operation. This is actually a really big deal, but what's more impressive about it is that he went from janitor, like the guy that has to clean the gym, to manager in 7 months flat, just under half a year, with no college degree, no formal training, no education, no special friends, no hookups, no nepotism, no nothing. Only he did all this purely based on hard work. He's a friend of mine. I know the guy. He literally got promoted once every 2 or 3 weeks for 7 months, and we moved all the way up from janitor to operations manager of the entire. He runs the gym. The only other person ahead of him is the guy that runs the entire district of gyms in the area. And again, all of this was purely because he was the hardest working person in the place. Came in early, worked hard, solved other people's problems, learned other people's jobs, helped the boss, put in extra time, learned the culture, helped people on and off the clock, would come in extra, would work weekends, all this kind of stuff, because T-Mac is, of all the people I've ever met in my entire life, probably the hardest worker. Ever since I've known him, every job he's had, he's always put in crazy hours, crazy amounts of effort, and it truly paid off in this case, and it can pay off just the same for you if you want to put in the effort to work really, really hard and enjoy the fruits of your labors. It was a similar kind of thing for me in engineering college. And you're thinking, okay, well, engineering, that's not manual labor, that's not hard work, that's sweats. Well, even brain work, mental work, calculations can be brute force. They can be grunt work. They can be very, very grindy. And some friends of mine were brilliant in engineering school. They instantly understood all of the applications of every physics equation, every principle, every engineering standard, and they could do half of this in their heads. They were just born programming, and they could just think really hard and write a perfect little script in MathCab or MATLAB or whatever and just crank it all out. But that was only a few of them. Most of us were not like that. Most of us in the very large college could not do these things in our head, and me and just about everyone else, we had to buckle down, bust our humps with endless equations, and just make it work. We had to grind it out. We had to call in every little trick in our toolbox. We had to cheat. Oh man, I cheated like mad just to get stuff done. But that's kind of the strange expectation in engineering college, is that you have to cheat. You have to get other papers, other help from grad students, and just grind this out. And I spent hours in front of a computer trying to do things that would take my friends minutes, but I did graduate it. And the funny thing is, most of the geniuses that I talked about, most of the people to whom this came naturally, did not graduate. The vast majority of those people, being vastly more intelligent intelligent than me did not graduate because they were unfamiliar with working hard. I'm not saying that they can't, because they could, it is a choice, but they've almost never had to do it in their life. So when they did finally hit that brick wall in college with things that they couldn't understand, that they couldn't just instantly take in, they did not have the character, the fortitude, the experience, the hardness to really buckle down like the rest of us and put in the extra labor. Many of them failed out and moved on to other things. But again, I did graduate, and it's the same kind of thing with YouTube. I love this job. This is a fantastic job. Playing video games for a living, making commentaries. I feel like the videos I make help you get better at a video game, or entertain you, or make you better in life and something. Reaching out to people and making a difference in the world is something I like. And some days it's very easy. I'm not going to lie to you. Some days I do just Netflix and chill all day. Some days I don't have to work. Some days it's very easy work. Some days videos are simple and make themselves. But some days it's not like that. Some days the grind is very real for me. Some days I have to make a ton of videos. Sometimes my project totally fails. We have to start from scratch. Sometimes a sponsor has a ridiculous request. Some days everything goes tits up, and when instead of having 12 hours to make a video, I've got 2 and it just has to be done, and you have to put in the hard work. But this is the same for you too. If you put in the hard work, you will be rewarded, but there's no shame whatsoever in this. This is what kind of scares me about our modern culture. They're like, ew, working hard, that's for Mexicans, I'm not gonna do that. No, that's nonsense. There is literally no shame whatsoever in hard work, and anyone that scoffs at you, anyone that looks down their nose at you, or thinks less of you for actually putting forth effort is literally 3 centuries behind. I mean, we had English noblemen in the 17th century that might do that because they were from a culture where workers were dirty and lesser and ungentlemanly and uncultured and that sort of thing. But that's gone. That's the way of the dinosaur. There's no more left like that in the world. If you work hard, you should be very proud of your effort, because not everybody is going to do that. As a matter of fact, most people will see an amazing opportunity, but one that requires a great deal of effort, and they will let that opportunity pass them by because they do not want to put out the effort to reach out and grab it. But that's what separates you from most people, right? You're not most people. You're not going to let that go by. You're going to hunker down, and you're going to put forth the work, and you are going to reach out, and you are going to grab your opportunities as they become available to you. Guys, that's all for this commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
I didn't
Drifter out.
Man, I was at a party, and I was like, yo, tell me we just got thrown into Savage's lobby. I went negative looking for your red ass running around.